Daddy or mommy, how you that day? How family? Brother, my sister, how are you? Hope you are doing fine. You know, be like saying a big problem. I just say Prophet Joel Ogebe, he just come the talk waiting happen. I seen go minister for Pastor Paul Adefarasin Change. You know in church, the person where social media talk say recently say carry pew pew. We be say no be pew pew. Nah, stone gone. But I know say we not talk about them here because I've been talk about them for Instagram, those with the follow media. But no be matter way day to day be this. Make we listen to our prophet because waiting talk here, you get as it be. Oh yeah, headset on. How una dey? Hope una dey fine. I just say make I agree to. I know say I never put here for a while. I say Alpha, and make we listen.
If God brings possibilities that should prosper their soul, then we go for money.
If God should bring possibilities that would prosper their soul, they will go for money. I have been trying to see if I can find the full context of this video. So no verse, if you are watching me from Joel Ogebe's camp, now so I seen post them for Instagram. That's why I just see them. I say make I, because maybe now waiting one make people see. I don't see where they write full link here, full video here. So make we listen. Understand the premise. Very important. Make I play them again, then I no go talk. I go leave and make it play. Some person they vex now.
If God brings possibilities that should prosper their soul, then we go for money. I was privileged to minister at House on the Rock. Sounds of Silence went there. And after administration, in fact, when initially they said, oh, can you provide an account number for us to honor you guys? I told my men, no. Let's just go and bless the people there. But we got there, the man of God there is a father figure. They now honored us with a check. They said, no, you guys have to take this. When we received that check, I took the check and I placed it somewhere to burn it. I told myself I will never cash this check. Oh, but it's money, you know. I said, no, I will not cash this check. You must understand that there are certain kairos moments that God brings you to so that he can grow you. It's not for you to make gain from it. I told my men, I said, this check is an oblation unto God. We're going to set off and burn it. Because what I want is reward, not payment. And the reward I'm looking for is only God it can come from. I'm not saying you should not receive the honorarium, but I'm saying what I'm pursuing. When I saw the magnitude of the community that house has become, I saw the possibilities of grace in that place. And order, I discovered that the church is not just a place to worship, it's an institution. I said, no, what I'm looking for is an impartation. It's an impartation, it's not payment. I'm not going there for money. You see that I don't need money, I need it. But I told my man, I said, I will never cash this check. A man who is in the needy mindset, we see that and quickly rush and say, oh, God has prospered me. Guess what? That money will finish. But the excuse for an impartation that you would have received is now missing.
How are you? I don't play them for you now, so calm down. The title he wrote here is House on the Rock gave me a huge check to honor us, but what I wanted was more than that. What you wanted from the pastor, because he has mentioned two things: reward, impartation. Impartation, when you hear the term impartation, what first comes to mind? At least as one of the spiritual jargons we use based on scripture, impartation would be coming from Pastor Paul Adefarasin. Oh, of course, when he talked about reward, he gave the context, reward from God. Then he talked about he put the check to burn it.
I told my men, I said, this check is an oblation unto God. We're going to set off and burn it.
Did you hear that part? But he said, no, he's not going to cash the check. Why would you start from the extreme of wanting to burn a check that was given to you in a grateful heart? Is this more of like a bait to viralize the conversation or to grab attention? Because it's very intentional that you posted this video. Now, anyone listening to it at first, when you hear the word burn, it will literally mean that he wants to set fire on the check. Now that will look a bit more antagonistic for you to burn something that was not forcefully given to you, but was given to you out of a willing heart, just to honor you. But of course, you don't want to use the money, you don't want gain. When you talk about the concept of gain there, that means there is work that he's seen with the concept of receiving remuneration. gain as a reward. So he has said that he wants his reward from God, meaning that technically putting him in that category of, let's say, music minister that will sing and then, charge. So I'm seeing this conversation, of course, in two aspects. Now, you heard him say that I'm not saying you should not collect honorarium, but so he was saying that based on his own principle, he's not going to use the money. Have you collected the check? Yes. Do you want to use the money? No. I think the honorable thing would be to return the check back to the person that gave it to you. But I hope you have spoken to the father figure before coming out to make this video. But I had to go into the comment. Let me see what conversations are going on in his community. So his community were cheering him on, but someone dropped a very sensible comment I want to read, and also his response to that, which is something I have as a problem with, as he spoke prophetically. So someone said in the comment, "While I honor you, sir, I sincerely feel this shouldn't make it to the media. It was a personal decision which was made and should remain at that. If Pastor Paul sees this, he won't be happy. Burning a legal tender after duly receiving it, that is a gross act which is not only sanctionable by law but deeply dishonoring. If the intention was still to burn it, by all means refuse to accept the check. It's way honoring than this. Please take this video down. I cringe all the way trying to listen." Very respectful comment, because seeing it just from the glance of it, it seems that our prophet has a deeper revelation. Let's look at the deeper revelation. So he replied the person and said, "Thank you sincerely for your concern and for expressing it with honor. I appreciate your heart and receive your feedback in good faith. Let me first clarify. The check was not literally burned. Oga, you say you put it somewhere to burn it. Hey, Chineke God. Let's go on. I understand the implication, both legally and ethically. What you saw was a symbolic gesture communicated to my team and spiritual sons who understand my language and intent." So kita he post kita. Did you know that this video has gone viral and gone virus? I saw it in different blogs, but he's giving clarity, because the way they were tearing him vam in some other comments I was seeing, he went on to say here, "When I said I am burning it, it was in the context of sacrifice, not destruction." Sacrifice meaning that, hey, nah, prophetic people, why do you try to complicate things? Do we now have to seek revelation to be able to understand your words? It was the context of sacrifice, not destruction. It was a prophetic expression, not a legal action. Hey, nah, I wish I have ways to be able to, yes. Next time, if you argue with me in the comment, I'll tell you, you don't understand it. You're not in the spirit. You have to understand the analytical inference I'm making. Yes. Scope no be for here. Okay. As a prophetic teacher, my ministry includes symbolic acts to drive home spiritual truths, something consistent with the patterns of scripture. For example, prophets in scripture often enacted messages in ways that seem radical but carried divine intent. See Jeremiah, Ezekiel. My emphasis was simple: to model that spiritual value must never be traded for material gain. But once you bring the term trade, that means there's already an intent for that kind of exchange. So maybe what you are trying to communicate, at least for those who are in his community, what he's trying to communicate is that him even accepting the invitation to be there was not with the intention that, okay, if I go here, at least something could drop. Because indeed, of course, if you have been looking at what has been happening in the music ministry, that idea of charging, not charging, you understand? Some would also expect to be rewarded. I've stated, of course, here, we've discussed about this many times, with respect to having such kind of event or something, or maybe where a music minister is being invited. Of course, there should be an extent of honorarium or reward or something. Okay, at least if it's not paying the person for their service, at least covering any basic cost that will bring the person there, and it may be, if it's feeding for the team or something, at least you understand. I don't want to go into dragging that particular conversation, but in this context, it becomes quite interesting as how he gets to interpret that there. So it might give the impression that maybe others, because how he was treated would also be the same way others were treated. So if he was given a check, even though he's a prophet, man of God, but you see how Oyo is Lawrence Oyo runs a church, also sings. Dunsin runs a church, also sings. Nathaniel Bassey runs a church, also sings. Others, when it comes to that, at some point they either go as a preacher, some point they might go somewhere as an itinerary preacher, sometimes they might go somewhere as what? As a music minister. So he went there with his community as a music minister. It may be, when he was talking like that and then talking about the team, probably there has been an in-house conversation about, okay, this check has come, what is happening? Just like if you watch the video of Mount Zion that was centered around the music minister, how they went, the guy went somewhere to go and minister, and then when he came back, those that were in the, someone can remind me the name of the movie, those that were in the band were asking about, look, how much did they give you? We don't have anything, you have bills to pay, all of that. And he was saying that the Lord will provide. So probably that kind of conversation was happening in the team, and maybe he had to also come and make a video about that. So it doesn't look as if he went there and then, just like everybody was given checks, he was given a check, but for him, he's not going to touch the check. At least I am thinking that before making this video publicly like this, either he had, spoken to Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and then, because it will look, some people will want to capitalize on this and make it look as if he's dragging him. Of course, he's not dragging him, but when you come and speak about someone like that, whether you like it or not, they're not in the same cadre when it comes to, age in ministry. But Dr. Paul Adefarasin is someone that, at least with the way you see him and the way he rolls with these music ministers, he can roll with you. He's like, I won't call him guy man. He's very free, of course, with people like this, and maybe with the way he's also free with him, would make him feel like, okay, I think it's I can come out and talk about this situation like this, but I think it's something really private. But again, as well here, let me just finish with what he had to say. The church was honored, the gift was received with gratitude, but our choice to place impartation above compensation is how God has led us. It's not a doctrine, it's our discipline. You see, this particular aspect of our discipline, that's also something I think I need to discuss. If you watch my previous video on the whole drama, Gaze Baba song No Turning Back, Gaze Baba was also there at the event or something, and the way Reverend Kesiana, of course, was criticizing the song and everything, I was even wondering, because someone even helped me remember that in the previous video, someone dropped in the comment, when he sang Promise Keeper, We Pass Goalkeeper. I told you people, of course, in my previous conversation, that the reason why he's not getting any backlash, like Gaze Baba is getting a backlash about his song or something, is because his song is original to him or to his community. So he can sing anything, even though you can see it also to be in the line of vibes, but it has no reference point to an original that has been adopted or re-engineered into something else. Because you think of it now, and probably, of course, many people are football fans. Me like this, that don't even, me and football, we don't even cross the same way when it comes to, I don't even know if you know be Ronaldo and Messi, who I sabi for football, maybe Kano Wankwa or Kocha. If you ask me which one, who is the fan, the club that is leading, I'm the fan of that one. You understand? Maybe that is why his own did not get backlash. But again, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say spiritual politics, but when I look at the construct of how criticisms has been going on social media, it's quite interesting. He went on to say, once again, I appreciate your sincerity and boldness to speak up. May the Lord grant us all grace to discern intent, walk in love, and keep our hearts aligned with his. Much love and blessing. So he wrote this himself. You understand? Okay, without me reading these comments now, I would just run with it that he was trying to burn, or he wanted to burn the check given to him by Pastor Paul Adefarasin. You don't know, maybe someone has posted it somewhere and then said the same thing, that is what he wanted to do. Someone gives you a check out of honor, you want to go and burn it. Burning it as well would give that impression of antagonism or something. Okay, but maybe I think he's just trying to pass a message that maybe I'm not in the category of every other person that went for the tape experience, and then I wasn't going there for gain. There was no intent that I was going there to go and sing and then get paid for it. You know, probably he has preached something with respect to the whole concept of charging and not charging, and then it becomes more like critical for him to come out and speak about that. So impartation from who? From Pastor Paul Adefarasin, but at least he speaks of what he liked about the grace in that environment, and also the community there, and what possibilities of course there could be. So probably in his mind, him accepting a form of pay or maybe a form of honor which he sees to be gain. Now I think to some extent it depends on how you see a thing, because how you define it of course defines your mental construct. I sit down here, I get to talk. There are some people that would tell me, hey George, I want to buy you coffee, I want to buy you this. I never see that as well to begin. I just appreciate the person. Thank you, spasiba. See. And then that is it. Clearly he has stated that what he wanted was more than that. At least remember what he said. He wanted two things. One is reward from God, okay, and the other would be impartation. So probably of course you might have to take the check back to the original person who gave it to you, and then ask for the impartation or something. Or probably someone can help me understand what he means by impartation there, with respect to who is the one imparting. I think that would be quite amazing. He's a prophet by calling. This video is an open call that, oh, daddy, you no be saying a check, I want impartation. I don't know if you will get it as well like this with this video, but I am hoping that they had talked, of course, behind the scenes, and they have planned a date for the impartation service. And then I would think that this is something that is supposed to be a private in-house conversation. Like, you can literally, since from his post here, it's supposed to be something that his spiritual sons and everyone understand. I will not blame him, of course, because now social media has made everything public. If not, maybe you could have just preached in church and those who are physically present to understand what happened, and it will not be an online situation. Okay, but intentionally posting this, of course, himself means that he wants people to hear, which may include those who are his spiritual sons and those who are not his spiritual sons. So I understand. Before people start criticizing me in the comment, spiritual sons, I know you understand. Just that people that are outside do not really get to understand why he would say that he put it somewhere, the check somewhere to burn it. That is not okay. I don't know if Pastor Paul himself hears this, if he's going to be okay with that. So it is very it's important. We will stop the video here. See you. Bye.
See, everybody can be lamenting, the economy is spiraling, things are going bad, fine, but lamentation is different from lamentation. The lamentation of the tenant is different from the lamentation of the landlord. Lamentation. The lamentation of the tenant is different from the lamentation of the landlord. Landlord will lament, but he will increase your rent. Currency. Because money flows. Position yourself in the place that money is flowing to. You got to sell something. Position yourself in the place that money is flowing to. Lamentation. Landlord will lament, but he will increase your rent. Currency. You have something to sell because money flows. Position yourself in the place that money is flowing to. If not, you will be driving Bentley like this in the spirit. This is the way to break the jinx. Have something to sell. You will be selling supernaturally. You create wealth faster because money flows. Lamentation. Landlord will lament, but he will increase your rent. currency. Position yourself in the place that money is flowing towards, because money flows. Money flows.